When I grow up, I want to be like you, Phil.
Oh.
You're pretty grown, bro.
You're gonna need
What's your
you're
problem?
gonna make a lot more mistakes, and then you're gonna end up on medication. You don't be like me. It's horrible.
Oh.
I want to be like you. I want to be balling. I want to be fucking. I have my own bar.
Yeah, bro. Invite barista girls down the fucking condo at the bottom of the condo.
Bring a barista girl here during the week. And
That's
fucking
crazy.
Smash her. Right on the bar. while I'm having a
Holy.
drink.
In the washroom stall.
Anywhere, bro.
Why are you licking your lips when you say that?
I feel like my lips are dry, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I was licking my lips too. I thought he was talking to me. I was like, bro. Why'd you?
rolling?
Why'd you? Oh, we are.
Yeah, so you can
We've been
you
rolling.
can ask.
Oh, why'd you call it Bigger Dreams?
Good question. Matt, you want to answer that? Or?
Yeah, bro. It's just like doing something that's like super challenging, something that, when you chase bigger dreams, you can't do it by yourself.
So this is your.
Why are you pointing at me like that, first of all?
Well, I'm just saying this. If he just said you're not doing it by yourself, so I guess someone else is helping.
It's a team.
Yeah, you're the team.
No, it's not just one person.
You're not really a team. You're like a duo.
No, we're not even a duo, bro. That's what I'm saying. It require like even you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying even bigger than just like the team of the camera crew and us. Like I'm saying like
Yeah,
Give
it's
yourself
like
some credit, bro.
you get what I'm saying?
yeah. No, okay, yeah. So it's like all the
Yeah.
the pieces that come together,
The whole package.
like a barn
Yeah.
raising.
And even just like like
Shit, I don't know if
You know what a barn raising
It's
is?
like the vibes, like the content that's being asked and stuff. It's a lot of like, what do you do? Like, what do you think is next? Like, you know
Is this
what I
guy
mean?
smoking
It's
right
like
now?
People talk about their shit.
It's just
I'm just saying. There's smoke coming out of his mouth.
oh my god.
He's either a dragon or he's high.
Shot a shot by Ben one time.
You want to hold hands underneath?
underneath.
It's gonna be fun. Okay.
That's my bro, right?
Oh man.
Couple of sips of
They're
bourbon.
probably playing
I'm
footsies
fucking
too.
buttered
That's
up.
crazy.
Okay. How you doing?
Buttered up. I love that.
All right.
All right,
You,
yo.
yeah.
Welcome to Bigger Dreams podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You already know this is a big episode. What number is this? Number 8?
Number 8.
The Ocho.
Episode 8.
It's my favorite number.
That's the
Is it?
Kobe.
It is my favorite number.
Really?
Why?
I'm not.
Kobe?
No, I was born in August, the 8th month, on the 28th. I'm not gonna say my birth year, but there's an 8 in it. And
You're what, 87? 88?
yes, yeah, sure, maybe, yeah. Yes, numerology, a lot of eights.
That's good. You know, 8 means money and good karma.
I think if you're
That's why
if
you're large.
Chinese, I think if you're Chinese, 8 is really lucky. I spent a lot of time in casinos, and I know that the 8 is very lucky for the.
Anything but 6, dog.
I think the Chinese like the 8. I think it's like.
Or is it 4? What's the number? They hate one of those
13.
numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, is it 13? Yeah, it's 13.
4 2?
No, 13 is everyone.
13.
I think every culture is
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah.
You guys hate 13 too?
I don't think anybody likes 13. It's like
You don't really see 13. It's not a number you see a lot.
when you think of numerology, you keep it. I think 1 to 10.
Doesn't Paul George wear 13?
I don't know that.
And he stinks.
And
pretty
MVP.
good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's alright.
He's not Luka good, but
He got beat by Luka. He got beat by a white boy and Kyrie.
I think if Kawhi played, maybe.
Oh, I don't want to hear that. With Kawhi's done too. That guy's washed up.
Yeah.
Wash. Episode 8 though.
episode 8,
We're
we're
at
here.
episode 8,
We're
right?
here. Let's introduce the hosts who do the most. You already know. It's your boy Matt, aka Easy Money, aka Babyface Killer, aka Mr. Borrow Your Girl. Give her back in 3 to 5 business days.
Where does she really belong though? That's what I want to know.
3 to 5 business days.
It's curbside. You know,
Curb?
Curbside.
On the street.
Curbside pickup for the dump truck. You already know.
Jeez, between that,
Blue bin and the green bin.
you heard it here first.
TT.
It's your boy TT in the cut.
Mm.
Young, walking on water. Young Jesus.
Young braid
fresh up. Young braid up. You know, AKA
fresh.
this, AKA that.
AKA
It don't
Mr.
really matter
Borrow Your Girl.
because it's really about Starboy Soccer.
He might just take your girl. He
You
doesn't
know
borrow
what I'm
her.
saying? It's about Arsenal. It's about them Gunners that are still in the title race.
Jeez.
Not like those other losers that we're going to mention
Tottenham.
later on. I mean, we don't talk about no shit club. We talk about the other club, you know, the club that is full of one EPL they've seen their whole life.
Sucks to
The
suck.
club that been challenging for like 7 years and have not won.
Let it go.
But,
Let it go. Let it go.
You know, we're talking about dumb people. But I'll let my boy Phil talk to you who they
Yo, we should cheers on Phil before we introduce him. Yo,
Let's
cheers.
cheers.
Guys, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to me. Yeah.
are in Liverpool.
I'm kind of stuck on the 3 to 5 business days thing.
Are you?
That got
Yeah.
you fucked up, eh?
You know, like if you pick up on a Friday, it means like you. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
If it's business
I know,
days,
yeah.
Then you get it.
Yeah.
Like 2 weekends.
Boyfriend's hella bent.
Do you count the Friday as one?
Boyfriend hella bent.
Because if you're.
Yeah. Trust
yeah,
me.
'cause then you got 2 weekends. If it's 5 business days
Yeah, yeah.
on a Friday, you don't count that. Then Monday to Friday, and then.
It's sickening, especially with Amazon Prime these days. Like, it's sickening.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
Rough for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And everyone involved, the family members, like extended family.
I think you're tiptoeing kidnapping now.
Ooh, Phil's on one.
You're really on that line.
Phil's on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never met an Egyptian named Phil, I'll be real.
Yeah. My parents were really really into like the royals.
Is your real name Philo?
No, it's just
Phillips?
Philip. It's Philip.
Philip.
Yeah.
Like Philo Petir?
Like Filippo Inzaghi actually.
Oh, Filippo Inzaghi.
Yeah.
Damn.
So in Arabic they call you Pipo. So it's like it's you know every name in Arabic has a nickname.
What's
typically
your name in Arabic?
Pipo.
People?
Well, I mean, like, really, it's Bebo because there's no P in the Egyptian alphabet.
Bebo.
So it's
Yeah.
B-I-B-O.
Bibo.
Yeah.
Bibo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bibo.
Bibo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bibo.
Bibo حبيبي.
Yeah.
شرفتنا النهارده والله.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I went to a concert with my older cousin, and we took the metro, and then I was like maybe, I don't know, 11 or 12 years old, and my cousin was like 18, 19, and then she was there with her boyfriend and his friends, and they thought they lost me on the subway, and she was like, "Where's people? Where's people?" And then he was like, "Really? Can you think of like a cuter name to call out on the subway?" Like, I was just like, this kid's gonna get kidnapped like tomorrow. But, people, yeah. It's if you know anyone that's close to their family, that's what they call me. Yeah.
That's what's up.
I like that.
Owner of Libertine.
Yes.
Jeez.
We got a big boss in the house.
9 years of this establishment.
Going to 10, no?
We're just coming up on 9 now.
How long have you owned
Oh,
it for?
okay.
9 in June. Yeah.
Okay.
9 years.
You owned it for the 9 years?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, yo, start from the beginning then. Let's talk about your early days. You grew up in Montreal?
I did. Yeah.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Merci. Born and
Guys,
raised.
Please know French, because I don't know French.
Oh, good.
You gotta teach me one day.
Nah.
Not worth it?
Just chérie, où est mon bec? That's all you need to know.
Chérie, Moumou, and back?
Ooh. Just get a fucking Rosetta Stone. You'll be alright.
For what? I don't need to. Learn fucking
Rosetta Stone. Sponsor the
Learn
podcast.
fucking English.
Yo,
Even
Bebo is
in
turned
France
up, bro.
Know how to speak English. It's only you Quebecers that don't want to speak English.
No, we do. I think there's a bigger effort. There's a bigger effort for French people to speak English than for English-speaking Canadians to speak French, for sure. I think that, you know,
Yeah, because
there's a reason to, because English is like a universal language across the globe.
So learn that. I had to
Whereas-
fucking learn it when I knew only Arabic. You didn't see me complaining until you learn Arabic.
I mean,
I don't understand you guys.
you know, it's a luxury to own to speak several languages. I think it's you know, the more languages you know.
Facts.
Yeah.
It is a luxury.
How many languages do you know?
4.
4. What are they?
I speak obviously French and Arabic.
Right.
English, kind of.
Okay, yeah, a little bit.
and
So-so.
and I've like functional Italian. I took it in college for 2 semesters. Yeah.
Functional Italian.
Yeah, like I
Functional.
can navigate. I
Like
can
ma fanculo.
precisely. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Do you speak with your hands too when you speak Italian?
I think if you're Egyptian, I think just Arabic in general is a lot of hand
Yeah.
gestures.
Yeah.
We do a lot of like up, reach, twist, this thing, like with the
Oh, freeze.
you know.
That's
We do a lot of
A
this.
lot of cultures love that up
yeah,
reach twist
this
thing.
one, and then we
That is a thing.
we also
It's a real motion.
we also measure with hands, you know. Kida, like if yeah, it depends on the measurements. Is really like if it's like an insect, you start with one finger, like it was like this, you know, like spiders like this. And if it's bigger than your finger, then you go 2 fingers and you go down the arm, like fish, like this.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a unit of measurement in Arabic, like this,
That's very
like this,
true.
and then you do this.
That's very true. You ever go fishing?
I love to fish. Yeah.
Yeah?
I love. Quite the outdoorsman. No, I'm not, but I do like to fish. I do like to fish. Yeah.
When was the last time you went back home?
Home, Montreal,
Well, no.
Egypt.
We don't care about
Egypt. Never. Not since.
never been
Yeah,
to
no,
Egypt?
not since. Never. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. It's. It was also like there's like. I think it was never really like a good time, and I think that. My dad also like I think he would have wanted us to have citizenship, which would have resulted in military service, and then later on also like it was never really like a good time to go. And but I plan to you know, do like one big kind of pilgrimage,
I wanna go with
homecoming.
you.
Yeah, well, I want to go with my dad. I think that's it's like it's a bucket list thing, you know, like in the next
When
few
you
years.
book your trip, let me know because I want to go there.
I'll tell my dad, I'll say like, hey pops, we're gonna go back to the motherland. We're gonna go see where you grew up, where you went to school, and I'm gonna bring my buddy Tourani. He
Yeah.
just him yeah. He
I
wants
want to experience Egypt with you.
yeah.
TT and Bebo and the Kutskis.
Bibo and TT
Bibo.
having koshari and koshari in this.
So shitty, bro.
How good was that dinner?
Yo, that dinner that
That
we
was
went
nice.
to.
Oh
Shout out to
man.
you, bro.
Shout out Nile River Restaurant
Yes.
on
Oh
College
my
Street.
God.
Ni-
I gotta check that shit out. That
Nile-
looks like the best restaurant in the city.
Nile River Restaurant. I mean, honestly, is
Fuck.
if you are Egyptian or if you're not Egyptian, it's bless you behind the camera. I'm gonna take this take back because you sneezed. But so Nile River Restaurant, Egyptian food, very authentic. It's crazy how I found this restaurant. During COVID, Christmas 21, I had COVID, so I didn't go home. I always go home for Christmas, it was pretty heartbreaking. I was alone for the holidays, and my mother always makes this one Egyptian dish called molokhia. And molokhia is this it's a bit of a weird dish. It's like kind of stewed like leafy greens. But it's absolutely delicious, and it's really, really special.
It's crack.
It is like crack. It's honestly like I've never met a person who wasn't Egyptian that tried it and didn't like it. It's really, really, really amazing, and it's very healthy for you too.
It is.
So I went on Uber Eats and I fucking typed in molokhia. and the one restaurant that came up was Nile River on College Street. So I was like, okay, it's Christmas, I gotta have molokhia. So I ordered molokhia to my house, and I was sick, and it made me feel like, you know, like nice and like I was home, and like just this really like nostalgic kind of warm holiday feeling.
That's hard. I rate that.
So I kept ordering from them, and then one day I went there in person, and I met the owner, super nice guy, and I told him I told him I ordered from there a lot, and then I told him I wanted to bring the staff for a dinner, and he made us this huge spread, amazing dinner we had. Yeah, it was quite special.
Everything was good.
So yeah, shout out.
Yo, the group chat was doing backflips when Tourani was at Nile River.
Bro, I told you. I
Nile
sent it to my
River
people.
Restaurant, College Street. Big shout out.
Koshari was crazy.
Koshari,
Molokhia was
molokhia, shishtaouk,
Shishtaouk
everything.
was crazy.
It's
Rice with sharia was crazy.
it's really.
Oh man.
Do they have macaroni bechamel?
Of course. Yeah, of
That's the
course.
only thing
Come
that wasn't
on.
the table.
But we didn't get that though.
That's
We didn't
turned
get-
the fuck
Toronto
up.
shit, man, that is crazy. If we got that, oh man.
So yo, you don't look Egyptian.
I know. Yeah, I know.
We're gonna tell him that again, bro.
Yeah, because I want to bring it up. That's crazy. Like I was like shocked. I was shocked to meet you.
Yeah,
First time I met him,
think-
I was like, "There's no way he's Egyptian."
Yeah.
I
And
think,
then he
like-
started pulling out Arabic words. I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah. He's Muslim. Trust
Yeah.
me, he's Muslim.
and I'm Masri Khalis.
Like
But,
he has a serious
Yeah.
Muslim.
but I think that especially in northern Egypt, in places like Alexandria,
Yeah.
especially, and you see it a lot in Syria as well. There's a lot of like fair-skinned, fair-haired people. My mom is very fair-skinned. My father as well. There's like kind of like you see it in Lebanon as well. A very like Phoenician mix of people. It's not so dark skin. It's a huge country. It's a massive place. There's a whole array of people, all kinds of religions, and it's people have this kind of misconception of Egyptians, and I remember growing up, especially if if you date a Canadian girl or something like that, and they see your last name and they're like, it's a lot of vowels, and just like they'll like girl's mom will be like they want to ask you first thing is like, so like they don't want to ask you if you're Muslim like right away. They're like, so do you do you celebrate Christmas? And I'm like, yeah, we definitely celebrate Christmas. I'm like, I'm Christian. I'm like, and then they're just like, Egypt is like, there's like this association with, Arab kind of like Middle East. People don't even realize where Egypt is. They just think the middle. They ask them like, hey, what continent is Egypt in? And they're like, it's in the Middle East. That's not a continent.
Yeah.
It's in Africa. It's like, but that's a whole other conversation. I think that
Yeah. Did you get a lot of puck bunnies growing up?
Puck bunnies. I don't play hockey. I can't
is
even.
puck
I can't
bunnies,
even
bro?
skate, bro. I just.
That is such a white.
I'm probably the only Montrealer who can skate. Like, never played
You really
hockey.
can't skate?
I can't skate. I can't play hockey.
You've never tried?
I've tried. I've put on skates, and it's just very slippery.
Feet like
It's very.
very slippery.
It's very slippery. The ice is very hard. It's not for me. I've always been like grass sports. My father's very, very into like American culture, so I grew up playing like baseball, football. My dad's like a big Boston guy, so like everything like Red Sox, Patriots,
And here you
Boston
are, all
Bruins.
New York.
Yeah, that was a weird.
Did you do that on purpose to like piss him off?
A little bit, maybe subconsciously as a kid. Yeah,
Yeah?
probably. Yeah.
Because you went. I mean, we all know you're a Jets fan. They're trash.
Go Jets. Go Jets.
Yeah, and then you went to Rangers, right?
Jets, Rangers. Yeah, for sure.
You're a Yankees fan?
I mean, I like the Yankees growing up, but I mean, they're kind of like an evil empire. You can't really root for them, They're like, and I don't really root for the Mets because like the Mets and the Expos, when the Expos had a team, that's the Montreal baseball team for the people that born before or after 2000, I guess.
Yeah.
Montreal had a baseball team once upon a time.
They were trash.
They were not. They were very good.
They lost to Toronto.
They never played Toronto. They're in different leagues. But
Stop talking shit.
Toronto just wants to fucking just fight. We're gonna fight after this podcast, but it's all right.
So Phil, tell me about you owned it for 9 years, right?
The Libertine, yeah, 9 years.
So tell me, how different is it from like year 1 to year 9?
I mean, like, there's like obviously like I got older. I think our crowd has evolved. I think a lot has changed. There was an obvious like year and a half off in the middle there for COVID. That changed a lot of the complexion of nightlife in general. Yeah, I think it's in the first couple years it was a pretty big risk I took. Opening a bar on my own, and
What made you want to get into this? What made you want to open up a bar in Toronto?
Being
from Montreal.
I moved here. I moved to Toronto just because it was just time for a change, and I wanted to pursue acting, and there was more acting opportunities in Toronto. But obviously, like you start working in the industry to kind of make ends meet. I met a guy who owned this basement restaurant. It was a restaurant before.
This.
Yeah, this was a restaurant, and And yeah, he asked me if I like wanted to help him manage it. After a few weeks, he wanted to sell it. I kind of, negotiated with him back and forth, and I made him an offer. I said, like, look, I'll give you like this much upfront, and I'll pay off the balance from the revenue over the next year. It was a pretty huge risk, but we had a good first year, and it paid off. Yeah, and then it just became this kind of beast that it is today. It kind of evolved into a nightclub. I didn't have a vision of opening a nightclub. I think that there was a moment where I thought this was going to be like a cocktail lounge, like with snacks, but then it just kind of evolved that way. When you open a business, you're kind of faced with two routes you can take. You can like stick to your guns and what your identity is and what you want your business to be, or you can evolve with what the public wants you to be. And sometimes there's some people that like really want to like stay firm on what they were and what they set out to build. And then some people will just say, well, I'm going to go where the money is, and this is what the demand is, and I'm going to evolve this way. And I think that's what we did. I think initially this was, intended to be more of a cocktail lounge with like kind of like a snack bar. But then like, shots of Jameson and like bottle service, and like it just evolved into this nightclub. And I had two choices. I can either just kind of like, I can stick to my guns and hope it works out, or I can just evolve and become this nightclub that it is now. Right. And I think that's what we did.
Right.
So.
And it is definitely like one of the places in the city that's known. Like it's definitely cemented itself. I mean, I've known about you guys for a while. I've definitely started coming more frequently, I'd say, within the last 2 years. And I've been, employed here for about 7 months now, but I can definitely say that this is a place in the culture in Toronto. The nightlife in Toronto. People know about Libertine. It's that place, especially before COVID. It was really,
for sure,
because you guys were doing a lot more in terms of just parties. Like you said, also just the industry changed after COVID. Needed a year or so to get back to where it was. Yeah. But I definitely would say like you guys have built something that is cemented within the culture here.
I think in the first couple of years I got incredibly lucky. I think that it's obviously you don't hear a lot of bars and clubs that stay open this long. It's a pretty quick turnover city. I think people in Toronto like what's new, what's recent, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But I think that in the first couple of years, I went out a lot. I tried to kind of like, just get to know who was relevant, what was going on in the scene, what DJs were doing what parties were relevant. And then I met the right people. I got really lucky with a group of guys that I still consider close friends. Kid Studio, shout out Kid Studio. They're coming up on 10 years of of production, of being this incredible creative collective that they have. They've shot music videos for The Weeknd, for Drake, for Disclosure, for like so many artists, so many commercials. They did commercials for FIFA, for the World Cup last year, a couple of years ago. Yeah, and so meeting them, and they were working in conjunction with a girl artist collective called Common Base. And Common Base basically took the reins on our social media, on our branding, on our marketing. They helped us throw like monthly parties, and it just, we got really lucky with the timing of that. I think that if it wasn't for them, I don't think we would have survived those first couple years. For sure.
My first time here was actually Jacoy's listening party.
Yeah. We've done a lot of parties.
Yeah. So tell me about the cultural impact, because like I see a lot of artists and DJs, like they want to be here, they want to showcase their talents here, they want to connect here. Like talk about that because I feel like that's added an element to this nightclub.
Absolutely. I think like since the beginning, we definitely see this place as like a creative hub. There's been a lot of artists that have done a lot of stuff. I mean, from Christ, all the way back to Maja Jordan, doing like, after parties for the show. We worked with Division. We have a really good relationship with OVO just because of, the artists we've hosted and worked alongside with. You probably know the first Division album cover is the front of the Libertine. We shot a music video, kind of like short film in here for Division. We did 85's birthday party in here. We've done stuff with Party Next Door. We've done stuff with EXO as well. We did 88 Glam performed here and did an album release. So many artists have especially in their come up have spent time here and have performed here, had release parties here. And it's I think the last decade of Toronto, there's been so many artists that have kind of left an imprint on the city, beyond just OVO and EXO. I think so many artists have come through these doors and have gone on to bigger, brighter things, but
Bigger dreams.
Bigger dreams, yeah. Hence the Oh, I almost dropped your mic there.
Wow.
Yeah, but we've definitely
Chill, Bebo.
We've definitely done a lot of work with a lot of Toronto-based artists.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Yo, that's actually sick. That's so beyond my question. Like this place is historic now. This is part of history.
Definitely cemented. That's why I said it's definitely a part of the culture, man.
It's
part of the Toronto culture.
I didn't know that
It's
Division
around.
thing. That's so cool.
It's
The
been
album
there.
cover.
Phil has been cool, guys. He's been that guy.
Yeah, bro. Bebo in the cut, bro.
Bebo's definitely
Coolest Egyptian in the city.
Yeah. I would say so.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I would say so. I would say he's the coolest. I mean, I never met the other guys, the ones that used to have, what's that joint over there on King Street? Regulars?
Yeah.
I don't know them well, but
I
would
met.
definitely say you're the coolest Egyptian I met in the city.
I met one of them there once. She was super cool. I think it was Mona. She was.
So she's an owner?
She was a partner there, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, she's also Egyptian.
Yeah.
But yeah,
She's outside too.
aren't we all?
Yeah. With that, we'll be right back.
If this was a
Welcome back, guys. We're back.
We're
Episode 8,
the Ocho.
Libertine.
Bigger
with the
Dreams
one and
podcast.
only Bebo in the cut.
Bebo in the Gutskis. Yo, Bebo's tough,
Yeah,
eh?
you should. Like, B's up.
Yeah.
Yo, you should get it like each letter of Bebo tatted on your fingers.
Yeah, just be
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking tough.
Throw the gang sign up.
Yeah.
Bebo.
Wow.
Bebo.
You'd get all the puck bunnies turned the fuck up.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Aria Cafe. I know we're not shooting here today, but we
Shout out, y'all.
still love them for being our sponsors. And shout out to Next Level Shisha.
You already know.
Next
at
level shisha.
in the city.
Best lounge in
You know what I'm
Vaughan.
saying? Go check them out at Next Level Shisha. Where they located, Matt? What's the Addy?
Is it 205 Marycroft Avenue?
Yes, Sirski.
Yo.
Sure.
I don't know if it was 205 or 204.
He was not sure with that. He should have
Definitely
been
205.
better.
You already
prepared.
know. Shout out LP. Shout out the whole gang at Aria.
I'm saying it like I know. It's 205. Yeah, it's 205.
What's the address here?
1307.
What?
Dundas Street West.
There you go.
Jeez.
There you go. That's where we be right now.
That's where we at.
1307
Yeah.
Dundas Street West. Bigger Dreams podcast in the cut. We chilling at the bar. We having conversations.
We
as
having a
we
good
are at the
time.
bar.
Not a long
I'm here
time,
with
but a
my
good time.
guy.
I'm your
it's
guy?
crazy. We kind of met just before I started working here, right?
Yeah.
It was the summer before I started working here. Beginning of probably a year ago, around a year from now, May or I remember because Colty had their first barbecue around then, and you.
Oh yeah,
walked
that's right. That's
around,
right. Yeah.
Right. And then for my birthday, he's like, "Yo, come here. I got a bottle with your name on it." I was like, "What?" Bro, I'm already lit. Like, He got me fucked up, and you know how fucked up I was on my birthday.
You're fucked up.
And then fast forward, this guy's a cool guy, man. We have some really dope conversations. It's like a brother to me. Right?
I don't know what to say.
Look,
about
he's
that.
blushing. He's blushing.
Thank you. Thank
No,
you.
I just had to make that. Very nice guy. Very means very well. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Does not bullshit. Just says how it is, and created a dope atmosphere here, man. I gotta fucking give that to you. So I'm gonna say cheers to that, even though
I'm out. I'm out
yeah,
here.
you're out. That's crazy. The
That's
bar's-
okay. Good thing I'm here.
Yeah. Thank you, though. Thank you. It's
Yeah,
Dude,
bro.
I appreciate you. I really do.
it's
That's big.
it's a
That's
whole
major.
it's a whole team. I almost
Shout out to
slipped
Yalda
off.
one time
Yeah,
because that's
shout
a real
out.
don.
Honestly, shout out to Yalda, to Greg, to Forky,
G, Forky.
like the whole staff.
Yes, sir.
I mean, like Gabby, Miggs, Kieran, Troy, Lola, Alexia, Mika. I mean, even former staff was part of it. You know what I
So
mean? Like
fuck the security guards, right? Fuck the guys that
the door team is probably the biggest problem in this place.
It's crazy.
I think
That's
guys
crazy.
like Tourani, I mean, like, just, constantly just, causing problems and, like, just
Keeping your
messes
place in order.
just messes I got to clean up
Yeah.
and shit. It's just,
You mean I'm the one that tells the DJs to cut the music because nobody can?
you tell them to cut the music because you want them to cut the music because you want to go home.
No, not because I want to go home. Because it's 2:30. By 2:45, everybody should be done their drinks and gone.
Yes, legally.
We don't
yes.
play music till 2:45.
We do not. We do not.
That's I'm enforcing the law. Ew, that sounded weird.
Yo.
You're a man of the law.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, with that braid up, you could have fooled me, but yeah.
You like that braid up, eh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Look sweet with it.
I don't know if I can't imagine like a police officer with a braid up like that.
I don't think they will allow them to be in a
You don't
braid
think
up. No.
Is that racist?
I think they have racism in there, yeah, for sure.
I mean, this podcast is now getting very
Political?
political.
It-
but
yo,
I'm just curious if there's like rules.
It gets
about
sticky.
their-
It gets
their-
sticky on this shit.
Maybe it's like the military with the leg, you know?
Yeah, maybe is there rules about hair and beard for the police?
I
Like,
don't know. That's
could
very
you have like a
possible.
fucking
I doubt it.
like ZZ Top beard and be a
No,
police officer?
I've never seen a police officer with that.
Yeah, ZZ Top is a very for those listening that are under the age of 30. It's an old rock band, and the two guys had very long beards. Yeah, everybody watching right now who's like 21 or 24 is just like, oh,
Looking at you like, what's up with this boomer?
what's up with this boomer?
This boomer is tweaking.
No, he's just
Still, fam.
okay.
Yo, yo,
I'm not
Phil.
doing that. Yeah.
Yo, Bebo, tell me about the pandemic, because a lot of businesses like stopped running or went out of business during that time.
For sure. Yeah.
Especially just the nightlife industry in general. I feel like along with the restaurants, they took pretty massive hits. I guess that's hospitality in general, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So tell me how what that experience was like.
I
Were you
think-
scared?
Yeah, I mean, like we, at first we thought it was gonna be like a month off or whatever it was gonna be. No one really knew, the severity or like the scope of what was gonna happen. Every month was like, just new information, and like if I hear the fucking word unprecedented one more time, I'll like stab someone. But like,
Was it the most difficult time of the 9 years?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like the uncertainty, like you're not knowing if you're ever gonna open again, not knowing, how you're gonna, cover your rent, your bills, like things, still keep going. You still gotta pay your insurance, you gotta pay your rent, you gotta pay like, your bills, and we got pretty resourceful. We rented out the kitchen. We tried to make some money. There were like some government subsidies. But yeah, we did what we
There's a
could.
kitchen?
There's definitely a kitchen in here. You've seen it.
I just want to fuck with you.
But yeah, we did what we could. It was, really difficult. It was expensive personally for me. But I'm just glad it's behind us. I mean, we can't, dwell on the past and focus on what we lost. We just, got to move forward and, we dug a hole, but fortunately everybody came back. I think that the first couple months back were some of our biggest months I think ever in the entire 9 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember And like, you know, a lot of our regulars, like, God bless them, and like just came back and just
Right.
came in spending money, came in knowing that, you know, it's gonna take
Like a
them-
community effort,
Yeah, it's a community
almost,
effort
yeah.
for sure. And I'm eternally grateful for everybody who's you know, contributed to that, and everybody who's been a part of that. And it was a dark time, but you know, it's behind us. I think like it's you know, it's, I don't want to say unprecedented again, but like it's just it was you could have never ever forecasted for that. You could have never
Right.
predicted that.
Right.
So, and I think that you know, everybody went down together and everybody comes back up together. I think that's the way you got to see it. Yeah.
How has the inflation impacted you? Because after COVID, I mean, obviously, especially the beginning of 2024, and even now, and even as the episode gets released, like, you know, inflation is a big topic of discussion. How has that impacted you?
I mean, for sure. I think that prices across the board have gone up. It's not just us. We, you know, inevitably had to increase our prices at the well. We marginally increased some bottle service prices because a lot of prices at the source went up. I think it's
And your bottle prices are still fair, bro, compared to other
I think
places.
so. We definitely like, you know, take pride in having very reasonable prices. I think that to me it's a little bit outlandish to not be able to get a drink under $10 at any bar. I think, and again, I know that it's eventually going to evolve to a point that, you know, a $9 drink won't be feasible, but for as long as we can, I think that I refuse to go to double digits for, you know, a single basic rail mixed drink. It shouldn't be $10. It should never be higher than 10. It's just, again, and I realize that inflation is a real thing, and I realize that things evolve that way. And you know, when we 9 years ago, a rail drink was $7. You know what I mean? We're at 9 now, so you know, well, yeah, it's the way it is, and I still think it's very reasonable. Our bottle prices are very reasonable. I'm not
It's
trying
still a lot reasonable. Like
yeah.
anywhere else I go in the city is easy 10 to like $12.
Sure, yeah, and I think
Most
that,
places, I would say.
and that's totally normal. We saw restaurants go up in prices, like you know, the price of your groceries went up. Like it's
Right.
like a carton of eggs is now like $10. It's wild, but you know, but it's just everything kind of goes up in conjunction together, and I think that you know, you do your best to stay reasonable, and you know what I mean, and you save money in other places, you cut expenses in other places, and you do your best, and that's you're not gonna you know, change the Bank of Canada with bottle prices. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna like
How revolutionary.
yeah, you're not gonna revolutionize the Canadian budget by, like, you know, serving up a bottle of Casamigos for, like, you know, $200. Like it's just it's ebbs and flows, and I think that everybody kind of, like, you know, all our contemporaries, other nightclubs, other bars, kind of, like, you know, just follow suit. It's not, you know.
What's your bigger dream for Libertine?
I think that, you know,
That's a good question.
the Libertine is it's definitely taken on the identity of a bit of a, like, artistic cultural hub, I think, especially in the West End of Toronto.
For sure.
For, you know, musical artists and, you know, other artists as well. I think that in terms of, like, the nightlife component, you know, we do what we do, and it's not gonna evolve. There's only so much more you can evolve from that. But I think since we came back from the pandemic, we've definitely tried to do more, you know, community, culturally relevant events. Like, we do a lot of things that are, like, you know, like comedy shows, or like, I'm part of an acting class that's hosted in here Mondays and Tuesday nights. You know what I mean? Like, just like, we use the space for artistic endeavors that are very beneficial to the community. Right. To, you know what I mean? Because again, I mean, like you pay rent 24/7, so you might as well like use the space to
Might as well, right?
do something good with it, right?
That's why you told us to come shoot the podcast here.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
cancel the class so we could shoot?
No, we're actually
okay.
in
I was
a
gonna say. I would've felt bad.
no, we're in a 1 week hiatus. The new session starts next week.
Wow, look how it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Yeah.
You even have to stress about that.
I don't
See?
stress about a lot of things.
Jeez.
You want to
That's
say
a
something
bar.
right now?
I beg your pardon.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I stress, but it lasts this long.
Are you flexing for the camera?
No, I'm not flexing.
No, I'm asking Phil.
I'm not. I'm
No.
I'm just-
It's
It's funny because like 2 days I was here
You're
wisdom,
stressing, eh?
wisdom,
and we were at capacity,
which happens.
which does happen a lot here. And there's this female that was just standing on the side.
Wow.
Now, mind you,
You're doing
the
this
door
now?
guys are already stressed out because we're at capacity. You know, we might have an agency pull up on us. And
feds.
people coming up to us. Oh, can I get in? Bottles, this, that, and we're like, right now we're at capacity. You gotta hold the line. And this girl, who her friends are downstairs, and then this other friend comes from downstairs. By the way, to any of y'all that watching, if you're inside the club and you got in and you have a stamp and you come upstairs and tell me, I'm gonna go get my friend, I don't care who you are. Your friend does not get to skip the line because you're downstairs. It's not how it works. So, this girl's standing there
Cody's turns.
for like 15 minutes max. That's like maximum 15 minutes, right? Can I get in? We're at capacity. It's just me by myself. We're at capacity. How much can I pay you? We're at capacity, right? And we're having conversation, me and other, shout out Jor. Me and him are just having a conversation while Phil is there and Phil is having a conversation with us. Doesn't get stressed. Looks at the girl. Just you? Looks at us. Ah, come on, let her in. It's just her. Look at her face. She's sad. I don't want to have sad people here. Why are you stressed? Leave it alone. I'll deal with it.
Yeah, that's good
Ah,
customer
come on.
satisfaction.
Ah, come on. Let's put it in. Bro, leave it. You don't have to worry about it. I'm
No,
the
I
asshole.
I know the exact situation you're talking about, and I'll tell you why. I'll explain to you why.
There's no why.
There is a why. There is a why. There's two. It's a two. I've been doing this a long time. All right, just take it from me. It's a two-tier.
He's such a good
It's a
Yeah, Bebo. Giddo Bebo.
Giddo
Maalim
Bebo.
Bebo.
Maalim Bebo. That's what I'm calling you
So
from now on.
so
Maalim Bebo.
Yo, introduce him to girls like that.
Maalim.
okay. So there's one. You're right. You don't like it's not a good look to have someone kind of like moping and sad outside. It doesn't mean you have to give in to let them in, but
Stand your ass on the line.
but
If she went to the line from the get-go, she
Hear me
would have
out.
been in.
it's for me, I saw it as, or I see this as the path of least resistance. Now you got one person and you're already over capacity by like 20, 25 people. So like, if you're over
What's
cap,
one more?
if you're over cap by 25 or 26, it's the same thing.
Maybe 30.
Now she's whatever. But if is the AGCO listening right now?
No.
But if she's got a group of friends here that are spending money, that are having a good time, that are part of this party or whatever it is, you're better off to kind of like give them reason to be happy and to stay happy and keep the positive vibes going than to have this like back and forth of people coming up down the stairs. Oh, is my friend gonna get in? It's the path of least resistance. Is the way I
Okay,
see
so
it.
I agree with you in the sense of if they were here spending money, buying bottles.
Forget money. Forget
No,
money. Just
But
think
this
about,
is
think
how
about it.
I'm looking
but
at it.
No, but think about it as vibes. Think about it as like they're.
You know how many people in line had their friends inside already?
But if there's like
But if I let everybody that has a friend
no,
inside come upstairs.
we knew that was a group. We're really digressing from this podcast here, by the way. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but-
y'all are turning this to a coaching.
Yeah,
Libertine coach.
we're turning this into like a work thing. right now.
Because in my head, I'm like, bro,
But
you don't stress? You stressed about a girl
No,
being
I wasn't
sad.
stressed. That's the thing. See, I wasn't stressed because I said like it.
Tourani was stressed.
This is the.
No, I was laughing.
This is the least amount of conflict that we'll have if we just let this person in, because then you have no more people moping outside. You have no more friends coming up and down the stairs. Is my friend gonna get in? Is my friend gonna get in? You just like you bite the bullet and you say like, get the fuck inside and leave me alone.
Get the fuck inside.
And
Come have a good
and
time.
have a good time. That's it. That's the way you see it. Now, I'm not saying that every person moping in line, like, you know, should like pull your heartstrings and get in. Like, no, I get it. But I mean, like, this one person, we knew the group they were with. They were part of the party. Like,
They didn't get bottles, bro.
Look, it's not a black and white situation, and it's usually very unfair, but it's the nature of the business.
Bebo,
Yes.
if you were to open a nightclub anywhere in North America outside of Toronto, where would you open one?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I don't know that I would open another nightclub. I mean, if I did, I probably.
But what if someone wanted it said, "Yo, Bebo, I fuck with your vibes. I want you to curate the vibes in my city."
You know what?
What if? Hold on. I like that. But what if, like,
Yeah.
I come to you with a proposal, yo, let's open Libertine LA.
Hold on, then let him answer the question. Which city would you do
I'll
first?
answer this question I'll answer all these questions at once. So, if I did open another nightclub, I wouldn't operate it. I would do it as an investor and maybe just kind of like, you know, oversee the bigger picture, just because I know how to do it. But again, I think that not every city translates the same way. Like, if you have something that works in Montreal, it might not work in Toronto. If you have something that works in Toronto, it might not work in New York.
The business plan might not be.
It might not work in LA. It might not work in Chicago. Now, all that.
Think so?
Absolutely. It's not. There's
You don't think the nightlife is like very similar?
No. There's always nuances, and it could be something as simple as like the city layout. It could be something as complex as, you know, just the culture and the nuances of the culture. I think that some cities have definitely more of a hip hop culture. Some cities like Montreal has a more of a European culture, and they're definitely more receptive to house music and you know, dance parties, versus Toronto is almost exclusively hip hop now.
Yeah, so
Toronto only got a taste of house music because Drake said it was okay like a year ago. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know, like Toronto's association with house music is like black coffee because of Drake. And
crazy.
It's not
You're
wrong.
not wrong. It's kind of crazy.
So again, culturally, I think there's like, you know, there's a lot of nuances you got to factor into every city. If I were just considering where I would do it on a business standpoint, I would do it in the States, just because.
No, but you have to pick a city.
Okay.
So I said LA.
You know what? I would stay away from LA and New York because they're very, very insanely huge markets that you know, you're kind of like you're going in blind. You don't really, unless you have someone there that can hit the ground running.
I'm coming to you and I'm telling you, yo, I got some people in LA.
I think you got to go. I think you got to go to like
DJs.
You got to go to Untapped Market. You got to go to
Untapped Market. Where are you trying to go? Like Cincinnati or some shit, bro?
I thought you were gonna say Miami. I'll be real.
I don't like Miami particularly. I'm not a big Miami guy.
Why? What did Miami do to you?
I just find like I don't know. I find Miami is like very like it's very like kind of fleeting. If I want that kind of like if I want that kind of like empty kind of like indulgence, I go to Vegas. I'm more of a Vegas guy than a Miami guy. I feel like if I'm gonna like, you know,
You're going to Vegas.
When am I going to Vegas?
Yeah.
I'm actually going in 2 weeks. So I'm more of a Vegas guy than a Miami guy. I find Miami's a little bit like, I don't know, just it's
not for you.
It's not for me. Not for me. And as far as like big markets like LA and New York, it's difficult. I've traveled a lot in the States, and I think there's some great cities that definitely have a lot of demand that is not met for nightlife. And one of them that I went to recently is Denver. Denver is a very young city. There was
altitude there, or what is it?
No, it's actually what happened in Denver was the legalization of marijuana about 10 years ago.
Oh, that fucked up the nightlife.
Everybody's Friday.
No, it was.
Everybody's just high.
There was an influx of young people that went to Colorado to make money because they wanted to work in cannabis. So Denver is this like really young demographic.
Gen Zs?
I mean, like Gen, WXYZ, whatever it is. Like I think there's just like there's a lot of young people that go out there and they want to make money. They want to go out. They want to spend
People's
money.
turns.
It's a super clean city too. It's a nice place to live.
Yeah.
I definitely look into Denver, or I mean like
You like the Nuggets?
I like Nuggets. Yeah, like shout out Canadian Jamal Murray.
I like
Yeah.
Nuggets.
I like the Nuggets. They're a good team. They're a good squad. I find it remarkable that like arguably the best player in the NBA right now is this like fat European guy. But I mean,
Man titties.
he's fucking.
He's so good.
I don't know how he like.
He's so good, man.
He can outrun the whole Laker team, and he's just this giant fucking.
Yeah, bro.
Like
Dude.
awkward looking, like ugly shot making, like dominant player though. I'd love to see.
It's a
I'd
phenomenon.
love to see them in the final again. But I do
So,
like
you want Boston in them?
Minnesota's cool too though. Minnesota's fun to watch. Like
Minnesota is fun. Michael Jordan's
MJ's
son.
son is
Michael,
gonna come up.
MJ's son is.
You know that's his son.
I don't know if it's his son.
You ever see that fadeaway?
Yeah, it's. I mean, that I don't think that
You
can
watch
associate
MJ.
that.
You're old enough.
Yeah, I did watch MJ. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Not like this guy that says, "Oh, MJ," but I never watched him in his life. Watched him
Listen,
when he was on the
my
Wizards.
argument is
I don't wanna hear
very
it.
fair.
I don't want to hear it.
Look,
I'm not having this
MJ
discussion.
was just ahead of his
care.
time
I don't care
more
what
than
you say.
LeBron was ahead of his
I
time.
don't care what you
That's
say.
it.
I still
care
think
what you
the I've seen LeBron play. I never saw MJ play live. I watched him on TV. I've seen.
Are you MJ or LeBron?
I'm honestly, I'm partial to Kobe just because
I'm partially Kobe.
I just like
Over MJ?
I think that like
If there's people telling you
MJ,
Kobe
I
over
think MJ is the
should
I think
be
MJ is the
LeBron.
greatest of all time. I think LeBron is
The greatest of all time.
just I think that LeBron you also got I mean like the NBA really changed I think in the last like 20 years, right?
Yeah, people
Like-
play defense now.
No, they don't play defense now.
No, they
And-
weren't playing defense. bro.
and I think
playing
that,
man to man is not defense.
but I think that it was a much more physical game when MJ played.
if I'm playing man to man against
And
whatever many players there are in the league at that time, there's probably like 90 players in the league. I don't know. If I'm playing against every player man to man, I can beat them man to man if I'm more athletic than them.
you can?
Well, if I'm MJ,
Oh yeah, okay.
right? And if I'm athletic. So you weren't getting fucking played. Nobody played defense on you if you're just doing man to man.
I think the game definitely evolved.
And it changed
In-
once you came into the league.
No, but I think the
No
game,
zone defense.
the game evolved.
Triangle
with-
offense wouldn't even work if there's a zone defense.
It,
How you gonna run the triangle?
it became a lot more offensive game, a much more offensive game in the latter years. I think that like, teams like Golden State and like really
The
changed.
pace went up.
Yeah, the pace went up, the shooting went
They're
up.
more athletic right now, bro.
I mean, but it's like a thing that you got to also consider is that like the average skill of every player is
It's gone up
is
dramatically.
that much higher today than it was then. And a huge reason for that.
Ron is the coach.
No, yeah, I mean, like again, like I think that you got to consider the times. It's like when you watch a movie and you say like, this film was incredible, but they didn't have like fucking CGI and all these like things we use today, right? But like LeBron is playing in a different NBA than MJ was, and I think that Kobe kind of like played in that
In both?
and I don't know. It's
If Kobe got the 6, would MJ have that over him of being the GOAT?
I think that
I think so.
I think each one of the three played in a very unique era, and I think that you have to accept that each one of the three was the best of his era, and I think that
Okay.
that it's hard to compare what LeBron is doing or has done in today's NBA to what MJ did back then because. Again, like the average skill is significantly higher today, and a huge part of that is because of just technology and the internet.
Right.
That's true.
Like
And
kids,
access to
We'll get
things.
to
like
watch.
yeah, kids growing up, like
sure.
a kid who
And the
plays
sports science.
Yeah, sports
Sports
science
science has evolved.
If I play
Even the
basketball,
NBA,
yeah,
like what
You're-
they're able to offer the players.
exactly. Just general strength and conditioning and everything is like gone up. If you're a 13-year-old kid playing ball and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go on YouTube and watch like all these new handles or new like shot form or whatever it is, and you didn't have that back then. You had your coach who coached you in your high school or wherever you played, and you had your college coach, and then you went to the NBA, and if you got dealt a shitty coach in the NBA, you got dealt a shitty coach in the NBA. You know what I
There's
mean?
a lot of them.
Yeah, in every sport. There's
Yeah.
a lot it's a lot of nepotism in sports, and then you end up with shitty coaches. The NFL
Like
especially.
Gerard.
All right, we're not gonna get into. I'm not talking. I'm not talking Liverpool Arsenal with you, at all.
Why?
I'm gonna disclaimer because this is gonna get heated.
There's no heat.
This is good.
Y'all got out the kitchen when the heat came.
I think it's time for a commercial break.
Y'all got out the kitchen when the heat
Shout
came.
out Shot by Ben one time.
Shout out Shisha. It's,
We'll be right back.
Commercial break.
I'm back, yo. I'm done with this fitted shit.
Fat
All right.
Joe.
But
Love
yo,
Fat
start from the rip.
Yeah, you seem like you're a Fat Joe guy.
I love Fat Joe, bro.
Yeah. Kind of look like his twin cousin.
Okay.
I don't
You
know.
look like a French Montana.
That's
Whatever
fucked
it is.
up.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, no shit, you have.
French Montana, Belly, Drake, all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just racist because I'm Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern. What the fuck is Middle Eastern? Anyway?
You're Middle Eastern? Like,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know what Middle Eastern means. But
What I was saying is
yeah, the kiss of death.
no, one of the biggest ways you can lose yourself in this business is ego, and a lot of that stems from sex, drugs, and booze. So as an owner in this industry, if you if you find yourself in your own establishment constantly drinking, constantly trying to surround yourself with girls, with drugs. Drugs are super prevalent in our industry. We'd be naive to say they're not.
Very.
It's hard for you to navigate this in a professional way. You have to look at this as it's a job. It's a fun job, but it's still a job, and
Right.
it's numbers in and numbers out. It's if you get caught up, chasing girls and doing blow or whatever it is you want to do, or getting drunk every other night, you'll never succeed. I've never seen it happen and it work out. You know what I mean?
So ego's really does it make you cringe when you see somebody in their ego?
I think that everybody kind of wants to be the man. I think that it's an industry that
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, everybody
Right.
wants to be
Is that why you think the rap beef is happening?
the Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah.
No, I think that's just a really, really clever promotional tool. I think it's both guys are probably getting more fucking views and hits than ever. Hey,
Y'all told me I'm just the industry
if
guy.
it's not that, if it's a real beef, then cool. If it's promotional, then brilliant. That's great.
Yeah, bro. That's why when he asked me who's the winner, I said Lucien Grange, brother.
They're- yeah.
CEO of fucking Universal. That's who the
They're-
winner
yeah,
is.
they're all winning.
Because he making bank.
But yeah, I think that ego is definitely a big part of this industry. I think that a lot of times you've seen it at the door here. A lot of times, I'd say the majority of our clientele has no idea that I own this place, and I
Definitely.
I like keeping it that way. I
Definitely.
don't mind them thinking.
Well, other people say that they're the owners and not you.
Sure, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I just, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you can, whoever, if you can navigate this just being, undercover, if you will, it's just a lot easier than people blowing up your phone trying to get in at
But
1
then
in
you
the
have
morning.
a lot of people that do know you and I always ask for you.
I have club friends, and
They always come and be like, is Phil here? I'm like, no.
I mean, yeah, those are people that don't know my last name, people that don't have my phone number, people that'll DM me and be like, hey, so-and-so's friend, we met at that party 3 months ago at that place. But that's just anything else. Everybody wants, like I said, everybody wants to know the owner. And it's it's the same with our staff.
They want to know Bebo, dog.
Yeah, they want to know Bebo.
The real Bebo.
Honestly, if you don't know me, you're not missing much.
That's not true.
Just like it's. No, I care about the people that come here. I care about certain regulars we have very much, and I care about my staff especially. I think that, you know what I mean. Like every staff member we have, like they bring in their own friends, their own people, and yeah, I'm sure that
You do care about the staff. I'll say that.
I do care about the staff very much.
Yeah.
I think that
Sometimes you show tough love, but you love them.
I think you have to. I think you can't. It's really difficult to kind of keep a certain arm's length between you and your staff. I'm very fortunate to have an incredible manager in Yalda.
Shout out the Don Yelda one more time.
Yeah.
Shout out Yalda.
I don't think this place could run without Yalda. I think that again, I'm very fortunate to not have to be a hands-on manager like I was in the first few years, which made it really difficult to manage staff because as like you inevitably become friends with your staff.
Is this the best staff you've had?
I think so. I think this is the best team we've had. People underestimate the business end of this business. It's a business like anything else. You need a solid team. You need solid systems. And again, it's like not one person can do it all themselves. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but it's a business like any other business. You know what I mean?
What's the difference for you between Montreal and Toronto?
Specifically in this industry or just in general as cities?
As cities.
I think
Toronto's better.
definitely not.
It's such a much.
And look, it's not like, again, a full disclaimer before I say anything here. I'm going to look right into the camera and say that
Tell them.
what I'm about to say is going to sound like I hate Toronto, but I really don't. I live here. I love Toronto, and I've been here for a long time.
You've been here for 10 years now?
11 years.
Wow. That's a long time.
But I am going to say that culturally, historically, Montreal is just Montreal has an edge. It's kind of like, think about it like sports. Like when you look at like think of it like
The only edge you have is a wrestler, bro. That's the only edge you have about
hey man,
us.
there's some great wrestlers that came out of Montreal.
And that's the only edge you have on us.
Yeah.
You talking about the greatest?
Shout
city
out
in
Sami
Canada.
Zayn, Syrian Montrealer.
I'm
Fucking WWE.
just saying.
Look, what I'm saying is when you look at sports and you see, look at the Leafs versus the Bruins. The Leafs, like Toronto versus Boston. Boston keeps winning. It's not necessarily because they're a better team. They just been there before. They've been there before. They've done it before. They know how to, they know how to play the part. They act like they've been there before. And like, I feel like, you know what I mean? It's a question of experience. Toronto's a very new city. It's a very young city. It's like,
Okay.
I think that like 50 years ago, there wasn't Toronto like it is today. 50 years ago,
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like,
Fair.
so in the last 20 years, you have this huge influx of people into Toronto. So you get this like very young multicultural city, which is amazing. But Toronto's still kind of like figuring out what its identity is.
Versus Montreal already has one.
Montreal has this identity that's been cemented for like 100 years. Montreal
That's
has
true. I
this-
noticed that when I'm there too.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think, and it's
That
an
is the best
Yeah.
answer
but
I've heard.
it's an exciting time. It's cool to be it's very cool to be a part of Toronto forming its identity. Like I feel like the Libertine like has a role in this kind of like,
For sure.
forging of this identity.
Right.
I think unfortunately too many people on a global scale, their only association with Toronto is things like OVO and Drake. They don't think of Toronto
Right.
in like the sense of like old Toronto. They don't think of Toronto in the sense of like, like the multiculturalism. They don't think of Toronto in the sense of like,
Well, yeah, the multiculturalism, the food, the great food.
yeah, but I think that on a global scale, I don't think Toronto is where it ought to be yet. But again, I've been like, you look at New York, LA, Chicago, they all have very specific identities. And it's hard to pinpoint what Toronto's identity is.
I could see that. I don't know.
You know what? That's a really good answer. I can't even be mad. Sorry. And
And
usually I'm like the first one to fight Montreal about this.
no,
I was just in Montreal and I was fighting them. I was
look,
like,
I'm
"Oh,
not, and
no,
look,
no."
Montreal is like a very, like, you know, problematic economy. It's not a great place to start a business.
Your roads are fucking horrible.
The roads are shit, but that's a whole other conversation. But again, I think
That's some mob conversation.
yeah, but I think that what's going on in Toronto is like what Montreal did, you know, 60, 70 years ago, right? So we've been there. We have restaurants and diners that have been there for 80 years. We
Yeah.
have like you know what I mean, like coffee shops and
Do you
bakeries.
think because
that
you
have,
guys
like,
are a smaller city size-wise, it was easier for you as a city to like build, whereas in like Toronto's bigger?
I think Toronto's infrastructure is garbage. I think the problem is
Right.
the problem is too many people came to Toronto in a short amount of time.
Right.
So Toronto physically is not built for this kind of population,
Right.
which is why you
Yeah,
have
for
insane
sure.
traffic all the time. Streetcars make no sense. It makes
Zero.
Yeah.
no sense. Like
Friday.
this is like, hey, what's Olivia Chow? Like this is me. This is me lobbying. Can we get rid of these streetcars already?
I'm with
this
him.
this should be like your number one agenda as
Trash.
mayor. Just like a vehicle that cannot pull over, a vehicle that and
Just
that
stops in the middle of
that
the road.
stops 2 lanes.
That's so fried.
Please, for the love of God, get electric buses. We have a technology, like, you know what I mean. Like, tax us for it.
not
I don't
wrong.
care. I'm sure if everyone's taxes went up, but they knew traffic went down, the trade-off is so worth it. Like, honestly,
wrong.
it's
They be taxing for rain, might as well.
I mean, yeah, at this point.
fuck the carbon tax. Tax the fucking streetcar evolution. I don't know, man. It's like
Yo, gas is crazy in Montreal, bro.
gas is crazy everywhere, though, man.
Well, y'all
You
shit
ever
was
fill up
like
a tank in
high.
California? So you need a second
Yeah, I
mortgage to do
did.
it. It's crazy. It's
I
fucked.
did, yeah.
It's,
Gas is fucked up over
it's
there
fucked.
too.
Yeah, you were just in LA. You know what
I was
it's
just
like.
in LA too. I was in LA and
Yeah.
I wasn't much. Man, honestly, the last 2 times I've been to Montreal, I liked Montreal more than ever. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe I went to certain spots.
You also kicked it with some locals last time. You were like very like in, you know what I mean, like less tourist.
Last time I was there,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I chilled with some people from there. I also was able to like walk around. I went to certain places. I went to Rubens. I went to like a bagel shop, and then I went to a nice little breakfast diner. I appreciate Montreal more the last 2 times that I went. And the time before that, I only went for the day. I literally went for the day. I went to help a friend out. He was moving, and I just drove with him. And we went to dinner or like brunch at this restaurant, and we were able to smoke cigars in the restaurant.
Yeah, we have.
And I was like, yo, this is amazing. And as I'm walking around, I'm like, I feel the European culture a lot more. And I actually appreciate Montreal. I would like to go to Montreal more often after my last trip to Montreal.
It's definitely more European. It's definitely like a slower pace of life. I think that, you know what I mean, and it's also like directly related to how expensive Toronto is. You know what I mean? And I feel like in Toronto, there's definitely like an emphasis on what you do versus like, you know, who you know or what you do with your spare time.
Right.
It's more like the first question you get when you meet someone in Toronto is like, oh, hi, what do you do? Like how can you benefit me? How can your job, how can me knowing you benefit me? Very few people will have a conversation with you in Toronto that they don't need anything from you and you don't need anything from them.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? Like, and so,
That's so true.
Montreal is a lot more laid back in the sense that, you know what I mean? The just the pace of life is slower. We kind of like, you know,
Y'all don't give a fuck.
we make money so we can spend it. And
Yeah.
it's not like we're like,
They don't.
there's
Yeah.
no like kind of like rat race. You know what I mean? It's just more of like a, you know, the European lifestyle is what it is.
You enjoy your spare time better.
100%.
What's the difference between the nightlife here and there?
You know, I have this theory. I've always kind of like, I've always associated certain cities with ages. Like a 24-year-old in Montreal is like a 29-year-old in Toronto, or like a 21-year-old in New York is like a 28-year-old in Toronto. because I feel like certain cities make you grow up faster, and I think Montreal makes you grow up faster. I think that people in Montreal are kind of hit the nightlife at an earlier age.
Because of 18, you're able.
I
to
mean, it's
drink.
not just the drinking age. The drinking age is a year lower, but I think it's
18,
just
right?
it is 18, yeah.
Right.
And I think that's just culturally. I think that people, just kind of people have more of that. We call it bon vivant in French. It's kind of like this. It means.
Who?
It means
Good life?
It means It means like living well. It means living well. So like, people have that in their
Bon vivant.
Bon vivant.
Yeah. It's
I
like
forgot you know French.
A little bit.
it's an Egyptian thing. You have to learn French.
Yeah, I know. Y'all are weird.
Yeah, we are. But we're great. But yeah, so I think that like people at an earlier age will go out, will like kind of immerse themselves in like, you know,
The nightlife.
nightlife scenes and stuff like that. Whereas Toronto, it happens a little bit later, and I feel like even just like generally people move out of their parents' homes at a younger age in Montreal than Toronto. And again, like you just grow up a little faster in Montreal.
You guys have a San Fran type of vibe too to it. Like your houses,
I'd say like
the little hills that you guys have.
if there's a city in the States that I would compare Montreal to, it's probably Boston.
I had somebody tell me that Montreal is like New York, and I was like, huh?
If you're gonna say if like
It's a smaller New York, he said.
if
I didn't really understand that.
if one city is like New York and one city is like LA, I would say that Toronto's more like LA and Montreal's more like New York. Like in the sense of just like geographically, LA is super spread out, whereas
Okay.
Toronto is very spread out. Montreal
Okay.
is super condensed, kind of like New York.
New York is okay.
But again, you can't really compare. It's very apples and oranges. Talking about New York,
sure.
Montreal, Toronto. Every city is so unique. Like having lived in both Montreal and Toronto, having been to New York, LA, Chicago, I've been to Kansas City, Denver. Like, just every city is so unique, and you can't really like compare them. I think that like it's kind of foolish to say that like one is like New York and one is like LA. I think that Toronto is amazing in its own way, but again, like I said earlier, I think that Toronto is at a very critical time right now where it's kind of forming its own identity. It's probably the youngest city
It's figuring it out.
of all.
It's definitely the youngest city.
Yeah,
among
of all
major
major cities in North America, Toronto's got to be the youngest.
cities. Younger than Vancouver?
Vancouver is not a major city. I'd say Vancouver is like just kind of like
Just over there.
it's G League, like just. Like, it's not.
Damn.
It's just there.
It's
just
not.
sitting
It's
there.
What do you
not
call it?
real.
The G League.
It's
It's
just
developmental.
It's not real. It's not. Ain't nobody moving to Vancouver. Like
I've heard a couple people move to Vancouver. Actually.
no.
They're retiring.
Yeah. I know.
Maybe because like I don't know. They work in what is over there? Cannabis maybe. I don't know. Everybody's high in Vancouver.
Dancers.
All right.
Exotic dancers.
Skiing. Nature.
Opium?
Bare nature.
A lot of opium.
A lot of opium. That's not funny. That's not a joke about that. But ain't nobody moving to Vancouver. People are moving from Vancouver. You know what I mean? It's
Unless like you're a Canadian boy that want to experience nature and you like all that. Something you don't know about because you're not about that.
Bebo in the cut.
not really. No.
Episode 8, season 2. You already
City
know.
boy through and through.
You are a city boy.
Yeah, can't
You're
help
really a city boy. I really wanted to ask you about this, right?
it. Ask.
I think these are kind of like our last couple of questions we're gonna go.
Yes, sir. We're wrapping it up.
Ask.
You should wrap it up. Have safe sex, guys.
Jeez.
One,
Get a condom sponsor.
We should.
Should.
honestly, the way we talk sometimes, yeah, we should.
Should.
We should, but then
But then again, no one uses condoms, right?
Yeah. That'd be a fucked up
that's
sponsor.
not true. I use condoms. Can I ask you the question? Can you allow me to ask you the question because you've been interrupting me?
Oh, go. Yeah. What question? If I use condoms?
Do you use condoms?
Of course.
Safe sex. right?
Responsible.
He's the responsible.
Bebo the responsible man.
No, I just cross my fingers and hope for the best. Yeah.
You don't just punch me in the stomach.
I feel that.
That's crazy. I can't believe I just said that. I'm sorry, y'all.
We're gonna edit that out.
I'm sorry, y'all. No. Would you be open to mentoring somebody? That's what I wanted to ask you. Because, you drop in some gems. I know we're joking around, but this is a really great episode. I think there's a lot of
Yeah, it's my
hidden
favorite.
gems that you've been dropping and
You've been hella funny,
just
Bebo.
subtly kind of just saying them with
Yeah.
the jokes.
It's had
I
all
think
elements.
You have a good balance of both. Very impressed by you. I'm gonna tell all the staff out.
Thank
about
you.
this.
You're a good guest.
Just show
Jeez,
how
bro.
awesome their bosses.
Bebo, you gotta come back, bro.
I would love for him to do another episode later on for sure. Maybe Montreal.
Yeah. I'll take you on a Montreal tour.
I
Yeah,
would
bro.
love that. I want to go to Montreal with you.
Libertine sponsored.
That's a place. I
Well,
would
you know
love to
what?
go
We'll
with
do
you.
like a Montreal vlog.
I would
like
love to
just
see Montreal.
the
with
three of
somebody
us.
from like Montreal.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Me to
I'll
that
show you the
nice
Middle Eastern
spots.
community in Montreal.
Oh,
There's a lot of Lebanese people. I don't really care. About
I'm
them.
down. I always tell people my
I
wife.
like their women though. Don't get me
A
wrong.
lot of lebs.
Yo.
A lot of white BMWs.
A lot of BMWs.
Yo, my wife is somewhere in Quebec City.
Quebec City.
Yeah,
Really? That's
yeah.
very specific.
Yeah.
Quebec City is
What's
like,
your thoughts about Quebec City? I mean, you can answer that.
Quebec City is
after.
like it's like saying, I don't know, like it's like
The
saying,
Barrie.
Yeah, Barrie. It's like
Really?
I don't know. I don't even know where Barrie is. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said earlier,
That's cooked.
Quebec City's like
You don't know where Barrie is?
I know it's like north.
You've never went to like Wasaga Beach or?
Do you think I've been to Wasaga Beach?
You think Bebo's been at Wasaga Beach, bro? Come on.
You know me, like
That is the exact reaction I was waiting. No. Choose me to that one.
Wasaga.
You think I've been to Wasaga Beach?
Hey, Wasaga. But
El Wasagda.
Wasaga Beach.
Wasaga Beach.
For real.
For those of you that don't speak Arabic, that means dirty. I think Quebec City's like I don't know. It's like saying it maybe Kingston versus Toronto.
How far is Quebec City from you guys?
3-hour drive.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's like.
it's
That's
way
deep.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
way up.
it's
Yeah.
deep, bro.
Oh, that's deep. Oh, so the culture is not the same for sure.
No.
They're way more hardcore French.
Yeah. Like no one really goes to Quebec City.
So
Unless,
they don't like to speak English over there.
No.
no, Quebec
That's where
City,
they really preserve the culture.
Yeah, Quebec City, but it's also like population-wise, it's tiny. It's like Quebec City is microscopic.
No, Montreal has like the suburbs as well, right?
Sure, yeah.
And what are the suburbs there? Couple suburbs like
Like you got like the South
Richmond
Shore,
Hill.
you have Laval, which is so Montreal's an island.
Right. Laval is the bottom.
Laval is north. It's an
Okay.
island. It's another island that's just above Montreal.
Okay.
Very, very, immigrant full. Like there's a lot of Greeks, a lot of Middle Easterns, a lot of like there's even like a Vietnamese population. But yeah, Montreal is like it's got Laval, it's got the South Shore. But again, the whole kind of greater Montreal area is significantly smaller than the GTA, which
Okay.
the GTA is massive.
Yeah, for
you know what I
sure.
mean? If you consider Etobicoke and you consider like I guess Scarborough and
Scarborough's part of Toronto.
Yeah, it's-
GTA would be like Pickering.
oh well, if you consider Pickering and all that, then it's really, really.
So the GTA's, I believe, is Pickering, Markham, Richmond Hill.
like Stouffville, I guess.
No, don't.
Shout out the gang, bro. Shout
I
out
don't
the
know. I
Ville,
know-
bro.
Isn't
Shout
Stouffville
out
and
the
Markham?
Ville.
No, they're close, but like.
I thought
Stouffville
Stouffville
is-
and Markham were like the same.
Yeah, it is.
they're
It is. It's pretty much the
basically,
same.
Like all the
Vilmatic.
people who were in Markham, they just like miss driving tractors because Markham
Shout out the
City
Ville one time.
up to like Stouffville and said, okay, now let's drive tractors over there.
All
I
right, one
rate
more
you.
message for Olivia Chow. Let's just go from like I don't know, like Roncy to like, like the DVP, and then go like north and take Wonderland and then call that Toronto.
Why? What's wrong with the East?
What's over there?
Well, the Bluffs, the Scarborough. You don't like Scarborough?
That's not Toronto.
Yo, don't hate on the East End,
Scarborough's
bro.
part of Toronto. You
so
know that.
far, bro. It's so far.
Yo, you've been hating.
that
Yo,
far,
you've been
bro.
subtly hating on the East End
Yeah,
on this
you're-
podcast.
you're
I've been
not a-
noticing.
Yo, I
I've
love
been
the East
peeping
End. I
that.
love the East End.
You,
Shout out Mahaz.
I'm gonna take you to eat some good Arabic food out in there.
I know. I gotta go to Scarborough for
But
sure.
I gotta take
You need
to
an East End
Lawrence.
thing.
No, she's a setup. She's a backdoor thing. Like I was telling you
Bro,
earlier.
backdoor thing sounds
No,
like
bro,
very
this-
specifically about
No,
something that.
What I told you what it means, that's what it means.
When you say backdoor ting,
yeah,
I'm
she's
thinking
a setup thing.
a certain Pornhub category.
No, man, we're not talking about that.
Backdoor ting.
Yes.
That's crazy.
All right.
Matt, tell him what a backdoor thing is. A setup thing, right?
Setup thing, bro.
Yeah, bro. She comes from the back thing.
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
She gonna backdoor you.
Bro,
Backdoor ting. Yeah.
she shoots pornos.
Yo.
All right. Let's talk later.
That's crazy.
Get my OnlyFans popping.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
No, but back to the
Back to
question.
the question.
like,
Yes.
Are you opening to
would
mentoring somebody?
Would I mentor someone? Would I mentor someone? Absolutely. I like to
Is there
think.
like an age limit that you would go, or like?
I mean, it's kind of weird, but like
No, not like that, man.
No, I don't mean it like that. I just.
Like, why you
No,
gotta
I mean,
go
like,
there?
look, I like to think that, like, you know, I look at Kieran, for example, who works here.
Young Key.
He's 23 now. He just turned 23.
He's young, bro.
Yeah, like
And he pretty boy too.
and he's like, he's a smart kid, and he's like super receptive to, you know, advice. And again, I don't know that I'll ever have a kid, but I like to impart wisdom.
Why not?
And,
It's a good theory, by the way, he had. It's a good question. You should ask him.
why wouldn't I have a kid? I don't know that I
The answer to this question is what made me want to bring him on the podcast, by the way. I just had to put
Okay, you know what? We'll be right back. We'll start with that. We'll start with that. Why are you not open to having kids?
Why am I not open? I'm
Because
not.
a lot of women want to have a kid with Bebo.
Again, I'm going to say this again. This is a reason when he dropped this gem on me is when I said, we can actually have a podcast with this guy. Because he asked me outside, and I was like, what are you going to talk about? Your shitty Liverpool team?
Wow.
And then he ignored me because it's a sensitive topic for him.
Very.
Yeah, come on. And then he dropped that, so I'm gonna let him do that.
I'm not opposed to having kids. I always wanted to have a kid. I feel like just by nature, you know, I am a teacher. I am like a bit of a father figure to a lot of my staff, and like I like to teach. I like to impart wisdom.
Daddy Bebo.
Yeah.
Daddy Bebo in the cut.
Baba.
Bubble.
Baba Bebo.
Daddy in English.
But Daddy.
That unlocks some memories, eh? تعال مع Daddy يا بيبو. تعال. That got you fucked up.
Yeah, Baba. But no, I'm not opposed to it. I always wanted to have a kid. I think that truly and honestly, I think what changed in me was the pandemic. I think the pandemic happened at a very kind of pivotal time in my life, in my early 30s. So like, I feel like that pause in my life made me realize how short life really is and how unexpected, you know, the turns can be. So I think that I kind of like take on this more, you know, healthy selfishness approach to life, where there's like a healthy amount of selfishness where you can't, you know, constantly give yourself away to other people. And if you have a kid, your life becomes about that kid. If you are a good parent, it's that kid is now first.
Yeah,
above
it's the
you.
center of your universe.
Exactly. And I think that I still have a lot that I want to fulfill, a lot I want to do, and which would make it maybe difficult with a child. It's not to say that I wouldn't have a child. I would need to be with a partner that truly loves me and that truly wants to have a child with me. Not that someone that just desperately wants to have a child in general. Just someone that wants to share the experience.
He doesn't want a baby mom, basically.
I just want to, you know, if I'm going to have a child, I want to have with someone that wants to share that experience.
You don't want to
with
be a BD.
I mean,
He doesn't want to be Drake or Kendrick.
So listen, you know what? It's interesting that you say that because I share a lot of similar thoughts in my head when I'm like reflecting on my own.
yeah.
And then I think about it and I'm like, did society create us in a way like the way we grew up, where we think that we have to travel the world, where we think we have to see all these things and experience all these things and live a whole lifetime's worth of life before we're like, okay, you know what? Now I'm ready to have a kid. Do you kind of feel like also like how we were brought up we kind of like, for example, our parents' generation, they didn't live like full lives and like experience all these different things before. You know what I mean? Like they kind of.
But I think that if anything, you should look at it the other way. I mean, were our parents conditioned to not think about traveling and to not think about and to fulfilling this need to procreate, this need to have a kid, this need to kind of have this nuclear family where the parents stay together and they have 2.5 kids or whatever it is, and then
2.5.
I think that's the average. What is it? 2.2 is the average now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's less than that. I don't know. It's probably gone down. But
I mean, no sense, bro.
I feel like we have this pressure to have it all figured out.
But I think I think that
you can ignore me on that.
No, it's you have two and a little person. That's. That joke is for Theo Vaughn's podcast. So,
that got me fucked up.
So.
Oh God, this is why I love Phil, bro.
In China, you can give him back. You could put that on. I don't care.
Yeah, that's lit. What the fuck?
So what I was saying is no. I mean, like maybe like look, the way you're seeing it is you think that maybe society gives you this kind of like burden that you need to fulfill this like traveling and seeing the world and experiencing things. But like maybe it's the other way around. Maybe your parents kind of like were also conditioned to not question traveling. I think personally, I think it's important to travel. I think it's like I travel a lot, and I honestly I come back with a more open mind. I come back inspired. I come back like there's so many.
In a good mental state.
Yeah,
for the most
like,
part.
Wow.
The world is so vast, and people are so different that like you can only benefit from experiencing other cultures and other places, and like it's not a coincidence that. This is not to generalize, but it's not a coincidence that a lot of people that like, you know, take America, for example, a lot of people that have never even left their home state, let alone the country, are the ones having the most kids. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they live in this kind of like this traditional approach to I got to have, you know, my wife, my kids, and then like.
So you're saying that's an Amish type of way of living?
I wouldn't say Amish because I mean, but I would definitely say it's kind of like it's a little antiquated, and I think like that's a hard word to say, but I think that it's I don't know. I think that there's a degree to like just like the way we've kind of like approached society now, and I think that again the pandemic was a huge eye opener. I think that the world is not in the best state it's been, whether it's environmentally speaking, with global warming and the you know finite resources, whether it's like political unrest and conflicts and division and wars, the world is not in the best state it's been. So like I don't know, maybe don't add to it. Maybe just like be the best you can and you know live the best life you can live and do the best you can do and you know like I don't know, just enjoy the ride because it's pretty short. It's pretty damn short. And I don't know that having a kid would enhance my life so much. I do think that I would I'm definitely not saying no. I'm just saying that if I'd have to be with a partner that would want to experience that with me, and I
think you'd be a really cool dad.
I think so too. I think
yeah.
Which is why you know what I mean. Like
you wouldn't be too strict, but you wouldn't be like oh go be saw type of energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I think that's why I like to, you know, mentor younger people, like just people from the younger generation. I think that, you know what I mean? Like I take Kieran, for example, because he's a staff member and I see him a few times a week.
Right. And you have
we've built a good relationship. And I think that and again, his parents are out of town. He's alone here. So I think that a lot of times that like, if I do speak to him on like a heart to heart level, you know what I mean? Even if it's like 10% of what I say to him gets through, at least I feel like I've, you know, maybe from the mistakes I've made, you know what I mean? I can impart some sort of wisdom on him. And again, there's like general advice I can give to everyone, but I feel like when it's kind of one-on-one, it hits harder maybe.
So, my next thing to you is, what are some things? What are things that you actually can tell the new generation or the younger generation? Advice that you can give them, maybe about life, about finance, about just everything. Just being an adult in this world, in this society, and how things have changed, especially after COVID.
I mean, there's endless advice you can give people, but I think that
The important ones, the ones that really can shift or change somebody's life.
I would say number one, live your age. Don't try to grow up too fast. I think a lot of people in their early 20s, try to like fast forward to a life where they have the nice car and the nice watch and the nice whatever it is, And I think that in wanting to get there faster than you should, they take shortcuts that in the end
You don't get there.
you don't get there, and you usually have to suffer consequences for a lot longer than you would have if you had gone the
right way.
The right way. And I think that I live your age, and don't grow up too fast. I think that I would definitely tell people to live by the golden rule. I think you got to treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what I mean? I think too many people are there's a certain sense of entitlement, you know what I mean, in this younger generation.
The girls that be sitting outside telling me, my friend's inside, can I come in? Go on.
It's a good example. No, it's
Very
true.
fucking entitled.
There's a sense of entitlement with this younger generation of kind of like, you know what I mean? The world is owed to me just because, you know what I mean? Like, the truth is, life's not fair. You know what I mean? You're gonna get dealt a shitty hand, and it could happen. But you know what I mean? Like, just treat people the way you want to be treated. I think that's the golden rule. And lastly, this is advice that I live by, that I got from someone very dear to me when I was young. And I gave this advice actually to Kieran very recently. And the truth is, whatever you do, you don't owe anyone an explanation. All right? Just be the best person
That's
you
real.
can be, and you don't have to justify it to anyone but you.
Wow.
That's dope.
Bars. That was poetry right there.
This is like a poetry reading, huh?
Yeah, that was poetry right there. I got to give you the snaps.
That's sick. No,
Wow.
yeah, I want to take the time to thank you for coming on. Like, at the end of the day, I didn't know you. I didn't even know what to expect.
We knew each other from just the underlying Egyptian connection.
Yeah, that's what connected us.
Yeah.
But you've actually been one of the most dynamic guests we've had. Showing a lot of different sides. Like, it's cool to like. We've had some hilarious moments, but we've had a lot of deep moments. We've had a lot of thought-provoking moments, and that's the beauty of this podcast, is just being able to like touch on all these different feelings. And yeah, Bebo and the Kutskis, bro. I appreciate you, man.
I'm gonna change my Instagram handle to
I think I
Bebo
wanna
in the
ask
cut.
Yeah, bro. I honestly think you'd get more
I would
bitches.
love that.
For real.
I would love that.
Oh, jeez.
I want to ask you one last question.
All right.
I don't know if this was on the script or not. How's your mental health as a guy that carries a lot of weight on his shoulder to help a lot of people, to put people in better positions? I'm sure people come and talk to you about this, what's going on in my life. Da, 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 da.
A lot of people rely on you.
Yeah, I can say that just from like, yeah, you're the owner of a place that you have 6, 7, 8 staff members, plus sometimes the out-of-cation strippers that don't know how to count money. But how's your mental health as people put a lot of pressure on you or put a lot of weight on you? Like, hey.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking that.
Yeah.
It's very, very kind.
Because men, we need to check on each other every now and then.
Yeah, I know. And I think that we gotta normalize that. We gotta normalize kind of talking about mental health. I think it's a very unexplored topic, especially amongst men. I'd say especially amongst.
For the record, before you answer, like last episode, I literally admitted my mental health wasn't in a good place. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, and as you should. I think that if it's not in a good place, you know, there are ways to there are always ways between therapy and lifestyle changes. There are things you can do to improve your mental health. I think the pandemic hit me quite hard. I think that I was in a place where, you know, I think I hinged a lot of my life on this business, and I think that the possibility of losing it sent me in a bit of a kind of dark tailspin. And even coming out of the pandemic, you know, just trying to dig out of that hole that we dug, it took a toll on me for sure. And, you know, my family, my close core is all in Montreal. So there's definitely a feeling of lonesomeness in Toronto. And, but yeah, I definitely, I hit a bit of a rut, I'd say, with my mental health a few years ago. I'm very fortunate to have a good relationship with my father and with my mother. And I was able to talk about it with my father. And like after a few things of like, you know, trying like lifestyle changes and, you know, just what have you, even, you know, therapy or anything. I have no shame in admitting that I started taking anti-anxiety medication. Which I'm still on. I take Cipralex, which again is something that's super common. It's very common in people that have high stress jobs, that have like, you know, in positions of you know, of high anxiety or high, like just, you know, CEOs or what have you. It's super
Bosses, we get it.
I'm just saying it's
large people.
No, but it's something that kind of regulates your serotonin levels so that your anxiety doesn't consume your life. And I think that again, that's another thing we have to, you know, start to normalize, that, you know, normalize mental health discussions and normalize just, you know, I had a friend recently who thought it was super weird that I admitted to taking medication, and he was very kind of like apprehensive of how he spoke to me, like, oh, like, I don't want to offend you, you know, and like, and I was like, man, it's.
Did you tell him to fuck off?
It was the last one to get offended.
I use the term friend loosely. He's like an acquaintance, but it's just it's really just like it's such a normal thing. I mean, like, honestly, like it's definitely not a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people could benefit from, number one, therapy. Number two,
You been to therapy?
Of course, I'm still in therapy, and I think number one is lifestyle changes. Excuse me, you got like, and actually, this is a little PSA. Now, while I do empathize with anxiety as someone who suffers from anxiety, and I do empathize with people that have a hard time controlling their anxiety, and I do suggest lifestyle changes first, then therapy, and then as a last resort, medication. If a 22-year-old girl comes up to me at the Libertine and tells me she suffers from anxiety while she's sucking on her vape all night, had 3 espresso martinis, and an 8-ball of cocaine in the bathroom, I have no sympathy for your anxiety.
Talking your shit, boy.
Have a glass of water, go to bed at an early hour, and then tell me about your anxiety. You can't dose yourself with nicotine, cocaine, and caffeine and tell me you have anxiety. That is lifestyle changes. That's what I'm talking about.
Fair.
So I think for me, once I pass lifestyle changes, which is why I don't drink much when I'm here.
Yeah, there's occasions that you do.
Yeah, I don't think I drink as much as I used to. I don't do drugs, you know that.
Yeah.
And I think that
You don't even smoke shisha.
hardly, yeah. But again, I think that lifestyle changes, therapy, and then if you must, it's totally normal. If you need a hand with anxiety, like it's like something to just kind of like give you that extra boost to get over the hump. It's a tough time for everybody, man. I think
It
that
is.
and I think that we all got to kind of come together and talk about it. And it's just there's nothing like talking about it in open.
And
That's
it's okay
dope, man.
too. I think it's okay too, and like you said, we have to normalize it. We have to make it okay for men to have conversations.
Yeah, men get
in
sad too.
society.
Like
100%.
it's totally normal. I mean,
We're
like
humans.
look at Drake. It's fucking sad boy. Fucking like sad
You
boy
don't
persona.
like Drake, eh?
I like Drake. I just think
So
like
you think Kendrick won the beef, the
I-
battle?
I think that they're very different artists. I think that you can't. I don't
How
think
did we
it's-
get back to the rap beef?
I don't want
What I'm
to.
asking is, if this was a boxing match,
I'm not informed
who
enough.
has more points?
I'm not informed enough on the beef, but if I'm gonna say something, I think that Drake is a better businessman. I think he's really great at pumping out hits, and I think
Are you
as
being anti-Semitic right now?
no, I think how I think that Kendrick.
Attorney's a menace.
I think Kendrick is just a better artist in the true sense of the word. He's a truer artist. I think that if you took away Kendrick's money, he would still be doing what he does. And I think that the opposite is not true for Drake.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a cool take.
I don't agree with you, but okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Hey, man, that's art. We don't have to all agree on the same,
Yeah.
on the same thing. That's what
That's
art
very
is.
True. That's very true.
Matt,
Matt, how's your mental health?
you feeling better?
I'm starting to feel a bit better, man. It takes time, man. It's a fucking journey, bro. Like, I'll be real, like it's up and down, man. And I just think like having these dialogues to it, like I remember actually the podcast even started from just a place of being in a fucked up mental health state, and I'm just like, yo, like I'm tired of like I told you, Tourani, like I'm tired of just sharing myself with only like 1 to 10 people. Like I want to meet new people. I want to have this dialogue, bro. Like every guest comes on here and talks about their mental health, and depending on how comfortable they feel, they get super vulnerable. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, man, like I want to learn more. I want to understand myself more, and that's what this platform has allowed me to do. And yeah, man, I'm moving. How's your mental health?
I'm good, man.
It gets hard, bro. I'll be real, bro.
I need to
Season
find
2?
somebody to take me out the club, bro. I need to hit the group chat.
That's
you
crazy.
know? Yeah, bro. Come and
Stay off
rescue
dating
me.
apps.
Come and rescue me. That's what I need.
You're trying to get wifed up, eh?
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to get wifed up.
Well, if I was
Damn.
giving you advice, I mean, this is more to you on kind of getting to know yourself better on your mental health. Honestly, solo traveling. I think that it's
for
just,
real.
like there's nothing like it.
I agree.
Getting to know yourself better, solo. Like take a trip to Europe on your own.
I agree.
Writing that down.
It's
Solo traveling.
100%. It's the best thing you can do for your mental health. You meet complete strangers and you just really get to know yourself in a different environment, an
I fuck with
unadulterated
that.
environment.
I've done it a couple times, and like in my short experiences, I just felt like it's very impactful.
For
You
sure.
learn a lot about yourself.
100%.
Damn. Bebo, episode 8, man.
Bebo in the cut. Episode 8.
We appreciate you, bro.
At Libertine. 1307. Dundas
This is a
West.
historic episode.
We are popping from Thursday to Sunday.
You already
I'll
know.
say it again. We are popping from Thursday to Sunday. Don't pull up like you know the owner. Don't pull up like you know the DJ. Don't pull up like you know me, because you don't. All right?
Everybody
If
knows
your
you.
name is on the guest list, you tell the girl at the door your
Shout out
name.
Neeks.
All right? And if your name is not on the guest list, me not care who you know. You're going to pay us $10. You know?
Did you say me not care?
Me not care. Yeah. It
okay.
means I don't care.
No, I got that. Yeah.
Okay. And guest list is done at 11:30. So I don't want you coming at 12:31 telling me I'm on guest list. I don't care about guest list. You either line your ass up or you go home. Okay? And I don't want no petty young girl sitting. I don't know if you're young or not, but saying, "Oh, it's just one of me." My friend. I don't care if your friends are
This
downstairs.
is getting hectic.
Line your ass up.
You're so mad.
All right?
Yeah, bro.
I don't care.
Bro, people are going to be scared to come here, bro.
Don't care.
You mad, bro?
We're popping from Thursday to Sunday. I repeat. Run it back on Sunday. Crazy party.
Sunday's
Friday,
the best.
Saturday. Could be anything.
Sunday's the best.
Every first,
I fucking love
I
Sundays.
believe every first Thursday, every first Thursday of each month, we will be hosting Latin Night. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. It is every first Thursday of the month?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, every first Thursday of the month, there'll be Latin party popping right here, 1307 Dundas West, the Libertine, with
My God.
Bebo,
Love, bro.
my boy Matt. Bebo, thank you.
Bigger dreams.
Bigger dreams. Shout out
We
Shot by
signing
Ben
out.
in the back.
Shout out Shot by
Keep
Ben.
dreaming.
Shout
Benny
out
Blanco.
Don Yelda.
Oh, yeah,
Shout out
definitely.
G. Shout out the whole Libertine staff. And shout out the security team
Except for Troy.
that hold it fucking down.
Fuck that guy, Troy.
You
Troy's
already
the
know.
best, bro.
I know he's a fucking mess.
That guy is a man.
We out.
Out.